What is the will of the shinobi, and how is character embodied in their techniques? Let's delve into the meaningful aspects of characters from the Naruto universe and explore why the will of past shinobi doesn't fade even in the new generation. Enjoy watching. To understand the will of any shinobi, one must look at the character of a particular individual. For example, take the beloved Itachi and see how his character is reflected in each of his techniques. Many might not realize it, but all the power used by shinobi has a deeply ingrained essence and embodiment of its wielder. Itachi's fate was shaped from birth by witnessing death and the suffering caused by war. This left a significant imprint on his subconscious and began to shape his power. Over time, the young Uchiha bore the weight of responsibility for the entire village. Regardless of his choices, his life was a descent into darkness. To save his brother, he became like death itself, ruthless and irrevocable, and walked through his clan. The unquenchable darkness burning in his heart and his inability to control it all gave rise to his strength. As I mentioned, every shinobi's technique reflects their character. Itachi's genjutsu forces people to endure the suffering that haunted him from birth. This world, in which his enemies find themselves, is part of his pain and the burden he carries in his heart. The unquenchable flame of Amaterasu symbolizes the darkness Itachi took upon himself, unable to control his fate. This is reflected in his ability to create fire, but not control it. Uchiha couldn't extinguish his destiny, just as he couldn't fully control Amaterasu. His younger brother, Sasuke, always faced choices but still descended into darkness. His desire to end his enemy quickly turned into a fierce lightning bolt that incinerates its target swiftly. Similarly, Uchiha wanted to gain power quickly to deliver a precise strike, just like Chidori. Over time, Sasuke fell into even greater darkness, taking on the darkness of his older brother. Along with it came the embodiment of the unquenchable Amaterasu. However, thanks to Itachi, Sasuke always had the choice to follow the path of hatred or choose a different destiny and control it. This resulted in the ability to control the flame of Amaterasu. The main character, Naruto Uzumaki, was always a loner but yearned to have many close people. His desire not to be alone led him to the shadow clone technique, which allows creating thousands of copies of himself. And now, you are not alone. Rasengan may seem like an ordinary technique, but what meaning does it hold? This is where the will of the shinobi, passed from one to another, comes in. Techniques embody character. When a person creates something, it carries a part of their ambition and soul. In Itachi's case, it was his burden, and Sasuke inherited it along with the techniques. Naruto, on the other hand, didn't want to be alone and inherited the will of fire from the second without even realizing what the clone technique was at that moment. Tobirama always wanted to stop the deaths of loved ones. He didn't want anyone to fight, let alone die. This desire to protect gave rise to the shadow clone technique, dividing oneself into many parts to save everyone, being everywhere the battle is, and becoming a support for all who need it. This essence was revealed during the Fourth Great Shinobi War. Tobirama's will to protect everyone alone and be near those who needed him passed to Naruto along with the clones when Uzumaki was everywhere on the battlefield where he was needed. Unknowingly, Naruto inherited Tobirama's will. The same happened with Rasengan, which carried the meaning of fighting the tailed beasts. This will to fight and Minato's desire passed to Naruto. The fourth Hokage wanted to protect Kushina, so she wouldn't have to fight the tailed beasts with Kurama's power, but at the same time, so she could use similar power. Thanks to this, the fourth created Rasengan, based on the tailed beast ball. It was a gift for Kushina to fight against the Biju. Through Jiraiya, this power passed to Naruto, and as Minato intended, Rasengan became a tool for fighting Kurama. Thanks to Rasengan, Naruto defeated the fox. The will and desire of the fourth passed to the new generation. The will of the shinobi is techniques created from character. This power contains aspiration and soul. When someone masters this power, they use it just as its creator would. By acquiring new techniques, shinobi become part of those who created them and start following their path. This forms the will everyone talks about. The will of fire is the desire of all who created techniques for protection. Boruto embodies the will of fire, carrying Minato's desire to protect loved ones from the Biju. Boruto must defeat the Ten Tails, shadow clones wanting to protect everyone. The Flying Thunder God technique, created by the same second Hokage with the same meaning, saving everyone and being in the right place as quickly as possible. If you look closely at the characters, you'll see how their techniques embody their character, and in battles, they fight in a way that reflects their nature. The same goes for Pain, who wielded Madara's power, proving this point. He used the power of the eyes to convey his pain to everyone. All he saw was destruction. However, he denied the essence of this world, rejecting the truth, only looking to the past, creating puppets, and constantly fixing them. Madara, with similar power, fought entirely differently. He didn't reject the reality of the world, but always wanted to be in the shadows, like an older brother watching over you, unseen. The The embodiment of this desire was limbo, to always be in the shadows and strike if needed. The entire Naruto anime, and even Boruto, despite what many might think, is filled with meaning. Each character uses techniques that either embody their character or learn the power of those who are similar in character. This is how Boruto became the main character, mastering the techniques of not only his father, but also Sasuke's. The main character can bear the burden and will of several generations at once. Therefore, the shinobi era will not end as long as there is a single technique in the world carrying the will of generations. Write in the comments which character's personality you see in other techniques. Like and subscribe to the channel. Good luck to everyone.